has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
It's Ferrall Coast to Coast, hour number 3 here on SportsGrid and SportsGrid Radio. Mike Carver here with you. We head back to Oakmont. It's been great having Keith Stewart from Read the Line there all week. Round number 2 of the U.S. Open. I would say today playing considerably tougher, I guess might be the right word, than yesterday in round number 1. It just feels that way. There's definitely a lot less low scores out there on the course today, Keith, than there was a day ago. Keith, it's great to see you, as always. And I think I have to start with the round of the day. And we'll get to some of these guys that are kind of hanging around right now. But Mr. Burns with a 65. And I just watched, before you came, I mean, there was just all day long, I've been watching bad shots. All day there's been bad shots all over the place. For a guy to shoot 65 today with some of the stuff that I've been watching, unbelievable.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Burns was dialed in today. There's no doubt about that. And in fact, Mike, we were talking about this before we just jumped on. He was dialed in yesterday. It was just his last 4 holes where he shot 5 over. But today was a masterclass. 102 feet of putts this guy makes. He's gaining over 3 strokes with his iron game, which is not something that he's known for. He's got the driver in play. He gained 9.5 strokes on the field today. So you're doing things like that. That's similar to what JJ did yesterday. He throws down a number like 65 at Oakmont, which is like kind of a legendary number. I mean, there's less than like a dozen guys that have ever done that here in a U.S. Open. It's a pretty special day, and we'd love to keep the Burns train rolling over at Read the Line, because if you're reading the line, then you know we have a vested interest in this.
Certainly do with Mr. Burns here this weekend, so it's nice to have somebody. And I kind of feel like he's going to – now, Spawn is still hanging around. This Lawrence, he's a wild ride. I mean, he birdied 3 in a row. He's bogeyed 3 in a row. He just took a tee 17. He looked like he was shooting it out to the highway. I'm not sure what he was doing. I feel like he could have a share of the lead by the end of the day. I mean, maybe even, who knows what JJ does coming in, but maybe even outright have the lead by the end of the day with that 65.
I mean, there's a good possibility of this. And, we talked about this, you and I, yesterday when we were, doing this at the same time 24 hours ago. And I said, this PM-AM wave is going to have an advantage. Well, yesterday the scoring average was about a stroke lower than it was for the guys in the morning on Thursday. And then this morning, their stroke average was about a stroke lower than it was yesterday morning. So they've almost got a 2-stroke advantage on the field just to how the golf course played. Now, certainly, when they cross the turnpike and they go over and play holes 2 through 8, it's much harder over there. It's been about a stroke and a half harder on that side of the turnpike. They come back over here where the guys are on the back nine, and, most of the longer holes are downhill, and you have an opportunity to do a little bit of scoring if that's possible here at Oakmont. So that's what we've seen all day today, and I feel good about where Burns is sitting, that's for sure.
You have to at this point. And also you have to because the names around him, Keith, is the other thing that you have to think about here. When this wraps up today and we start to look at who's going to be around Sam Burns, whether he's in the final pair or even the second to last, I don't think he'll be in the final pair tomorrow one way or the other. But, Lawrence, Dietrich, Ben Griffin, Victor Perez. Now, yes, Victor Hovland is there, and he played great this morning as well. But, Sam, don't call me Ben Stevens. You got a lot of guys hanging around here that, not a lot of major championship pedigree here hanging around the top of this board.
Yeah, you got Ben Griffin out there with his blue blockers as well. Adam Scott and Victor Hovland catch my attention near the top of that leaderboard. I think Siwoo's not patient enough to get around this place for 4 straight days and keep it together. JJ Spawn, he did hang around. at the Players, and he made it to that playoff with Rory, and he's a great ball striker. And we knew the putting he wouldn't keep up, but I mean, he's been even par today, so you got to give him his credit. I mean, he's hanging around because he is a very good ball striker. But some of these other names, I'm happy to go toe to toe with my Sam Burns. And you know what? One thing we got to get into is this cut line, Mike. It keeps flipping
that's
back
where I'm
and
going
forth,
next.
right?
Because I have this ticket, Keith, +6 or better at +750 that I put in on Wednesday for it to be +6 or better at +750. This is going to be an absolute sweat, probably until the last guy walks off the course today, whether it's going to be +6 or +7. It's dicey right now. I think it's 74 golfers right now at +6 or better. We know how much this can change. Where do you think it's going to land?
Right now, if you do the math, it looks like it's about 72% chance it's going to be +7. The golf course isn't playing any easier. But you know what, though, Mike, it could be 5 guys that could flip that. And then next thing you know, it's 70% +6. The good news is that in 2016, it was +6. It's the low 60 in ties, right? So that's going to hedge you down towards a lower number. So if you're going between, it's going to be between 6 and 7. Right now, it's definitely weighted more towards 7. But the guys that are closing on the back 9, I think they have a better chance to score. And you look at somebody like Tristan, right? He's got a lot of holes to play, right? He's got 11 holes to play still. I mean, this thing's going to go on for a while. We were here last night until 8:40 watching the golf. And then I'm putting, live bets out last night at 10 o'clock at night in order to get ready for this morning. So we're going to be here a while. And you're right. You're going to sweat this thing to the last minute.
Look, it was +750 for a reason. I mean, it was a long shot bet, +6 or better. But I'll tell you, I'm going to get a ride out of it now, Keith. I'm going to get a ride out of that +6 or better all the way until the end of the second round. So I got no problem trying to root this thing in. Next up, I know that Scottie Scheffler is the greatest player in the history of the game right now. He's great. He's unbelievable. He's awesome. He's +5. He's 9 shots back. And we're still 9-1 live. Come on, 9-1. I mean, Keith, give me a break. 9-1. He's not winning this golf tournament, is he?
I tell you what, if you watched him on the range post his round today after he had lunch, it is. So in the media center, they did a cool thing with the media center this year. We are raised up because it's so hilly here, and on one side there's a balcony. It overlooks the practice facility, and Spieth was out there. Scotty was out there all after. They were doing the Texas two-step, the two of those guys. Scotty was as animated as I've ever seen him, yelling at Randy Smith. I mean, the stoic face of Ted Scott, his caddy, just holding the bag up, just standing there like no expression, while Scotty was like throwing his arms up in the air and everything. The feet are flying everywhere. I could hear him up on the balcony. Now, he's at least 150 feet away from me. I could hear him up on the balcony yell to Randy, go, how? I mean, there's trouble in paradise at the moment. That's all I'll say. The speed ship may have sailed. Rahm today got nothing out of the putter. But speaking of R's and roller coasters and rides this afternoon, I'm deep on Rory. I got that +300 bet, our fun bet from the U.S. Open preview show. Rory's right on the number. He's going back and forth between 7 and 8 and 6, and he's all over the place. So I'll be with you, Mike, till the end of the day. I think you and I, we're going to be sweating this out.
Hey, I know what your tickets want for Sunday. What does your head say for Sunday? Burns?
Oh, boy.
Or Victor?
I would be very worried about Victor, but I'm going to cheer for Sam Burns.
Let's go. Sammy Burns. Keith Stewart, read the line. Oakmont, U.S. Open. Tremendous job. We're back coast to coast right after this.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do, but the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to be this. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Face is the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Look, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces in the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
How about that sun has popped out at Oakmont? They're playing in the sun now after all that threat of violence and bad weather.
All those storms just happened to miss them, and they never stopped play. They kept pushing through. It was cloudy for a long time.
Are people still in their cars?
Yeah, that's gotta suck when they tell you to go to your car and then they never stop play. You know, that's just never a good thing with all the money you spend on the tickets there. But JJ Spawn's still 4 under as he's through 13. This Dietrich now at 2 under as well. So watch out for Thomas Dietrich here as we're coming down the stretch. Cut sweat coming.
Is my guy Vic Hovland going to win the U.S. Open this weekend? No.
I think he's got a great shot. I think he's got a great shot to win. You know, you look at some of these names at the top. Me and Keith were just saying, you know, outside of Burns and Hovland, you know, they're in that top section right now. Not a lot of guys with major championship golf pedigree that's hanging around the top of that board.
Just had a rim job. He just had one go rim right in and out.
Right in and out.
Watch this putt. Did you see this? He had it for the bird.
I just saw Phil drain a birdie. I saw Phil hitting a birdie. I don't know if we're on the same feed or I'm a little bit behind you probably on it. But Phil's is trying to make the cut here as he's been hanging around this afternoon. I'm about to see the spawn. You're way ahead of me. I'm miles behind you in terms of the coverage.
Yeah, he missed a little, like a 12-footer. He had it for birdie, and it rimmed out.
What a shame. What a shame.
Yeah.
All right, let's rip through some of this baseball from last night, and then I want to get to tonight's games because we have tons of them before we get out of here today. All right, the Yankees beat the Royals 1-0 last night. Scoreless into the 8th. Wasn't a lot of offense, but the Yankees were able to scratch across a run here with Goldschmidt up at the plate. Little infield single on the Yes Network.
No balls and a strike. Goldschmidt lines it off the glove of Pasquantino. He trickles off the infield. He's going to beat the throw there, and they have Reyes caught between home and third. No tag. Ball Astros. Yankees have a 1-0 lead on a wild play that ends at the plate.
You lose. Warren Miller films with a nice effort last night on the slopes for the Yanks. Goes into the sixth and allows nobody.
Into the sixth inning. Great job by Will Warren. Devin Williams as well last night. Last 15 appearances for Williams. 1.98 ERA, 19 Ks, 0.73 whip, 5 saves and 5 holds. So Devin Williams has started to find himself at the back of that Yankee bullpen, and they're obviously going to need it for a while there in the back end.
The
Dreamweaver out. They're going to need the help. All right, the Astros beat the White Sox 4-3. We always love to ring the bell, especially with Eat Sock on Space City Home Network.
Jeremy Pena and Jose Altuve, who can just go ahead and do what they want.
Perez gets into one, high and deep to left field, all the way back and gone. Number 15 on the air for Isaac Paredes, and the Astros lead by 2. Once again, it's 4-2.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that bet him on the run line and lost. They blew that lead.
Yeah, they did below that lead. And speaking of Paredes, by the way, he left that game, thankfully after he hit the home run, with a left hamstring injury.
Well,
at least he got the homer in. He got the homer in before he left the game. He's not in the lineup tonight. So we'll see if he needs some extra time on the IL, etc. Framber Valdez with 12 Ks for the Astros as well. The Cubs did beat the Pirates last night 3-2. PCA had a 2-run homer for them in that game. Brewers beat the Cardinals 6-0. That Mizorowski that came in, the kid from Milwaukee, he didn't give up a hit. He pitched into the sixth inning, no hits, 5 Ks, was a little wild. He had 4 walks. He left with some right calf and quad cramping, but he said after the game that he was okay. I think he threw a bunch. I know somebody was charting him over 102 miles an hour. I think he had 14 or 15 pitches up in that region, but he looked pretty good in his debut.
Yeah, and I bet on him to beat Sonny Gray, and he covered, and it was plus money, so thank you very much. The kid's a badass. He throws gas. He's a little wild. Obviously, he's a big guy. What is he, like 6'7"? He really throws it. So I think when it happened, when he came off the mound, it looked like he rolled his ankle, but it wasn't an ankle. It was his calf. Pretty much that was the problem. So great start for him. Gives up no hits.
The Brewers also, remember we told you yesterday that Aaron Savali wanted to be traded after being demoted from the rotation to the bullpen. Well, the Brewers had no problem giving him his request. The problem for him is he just went to the White Sox. So you want to be traded? Here you go. Go play for the Sox.
Well, look, on the bright side of things, Chicago's 10,000 times better in terms of a city. If you're going to be a rich pitcher and go out to dinner than Milwaukee, thank you, ma'am. Like, Chicago's jumping. Milwaukee's boring. That's all there is to it. If you suck and you don't matter, I want to go have a big fat steak for dinner. And there's a lot of great food in Chicago. I don't want to hear it. He got what he wanted. He wanted out. He goes to Chicago. Maybe he'll do well there. But that took one day. They got rid of him immediately.
I'm glad it happened because that means I can maybe go after him more because I love going after Aaron Savali. So if that means he's going to get to make some starts for the White Sox, I'm all for it. Get him out there so we can go after him with some home runs. Andrew Vaughn was the player that went back to Milwaukee in the deal. He's had a tough year in Chicago, has not played well. Tigers beat the Orioles 4-1. Skubal, 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 6 Ks.
No runs.
And when we got off the air yesterday, how did the Giants blew that game to the Rockies in Colorado as Colorado walked them off 8-7.
They were up 7-5 and blew it. A 2-run walk-off single scored from second and third.
Awful. Juan Soto in his last 12 games, 390, 1375 OPS, 5 homers. He scored 15 runs. I guess we can all calm down now with Soto and his start with the Mets. He's starting to heat up, Scotty, as they like to say. He's
been hitting home runs and hitting for average all of a sudden and tearing it up, and you knew it was inevitable.
Their team total is 19.5 wins. I told you to go under, and it's by far the best bet I have recommended on this network in 4 years. They can't get out of their own way. And now Sloot is out for the year. Let's hope Sloot gets back, because I respect the hell out of Sloot, and I want her to go out on her own terms. Hopefully we'll have her back for the 26th season.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
I got a feeling Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. I got a feeling there is no chance they're going to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kidding.
They're still not expected to have over 8.5 wins. They're still not expected to have a winning record. Now, I know things could change for the next 24 hours. I get that. But everyone expected Aaron Rodgers to sign with him. He's going to sign with him.
Ferrall Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
He has a great Father's Day out there to all the dads, right? And we hit the baseball schedule for tonight as we continue on here on a pain-free Friday on SportsGrid.
We do hit the baseball schedule as we continue on. We'll start in D.C. And remember, full slate tonight, 14 games. Of course, you already had the Pirates beat the Cubs in the Businessman Special. Marlins are in D.C. against the Nats this weekend. Edward Cabrera against Mitchell Parker Lewis can't lose. Minus 115 for the Nats, minus 105 for the Fish, and an 8.5.
Parker can't lose. I'm never betting against him. Give me the Nats at home.
Toronto will be in Philadelphia against the Phillies. Kevin Gausman and Ranger Danger Suarez. Minus 120 for Philly. Even money for the Jays, who are red hot. 7.5 the total.
Even money for the Jays, who are red hot. That's all I need to hear. They've been killing it lately. Give me Toronto.
Next, could be gas can night in Baltimore. Angels and the Orioles, and you got a couple good ones. The Fisherman Charlie Morton, 2-7 with a 6.5. And the great Jack Kokanowitz, 3-7 with a 5.6. Minus 180 for the Orioles, plus 150 for the Angels, and a 9.5.
Give me your boy Kokanowitz at plus $1.59. You got to be kidding me. And they got like Trout in the lineup. He's been hitting it. The Orioles suck. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. They won 10-1 the other day. That was their first win of the month? Okay, so give me the Angels.
Yankees in Boston will be at Fenway this weekend. Of course, the Red Sox beat them 2 out of 3 at Yankee Stadium last weekend. It'll be Ryan Yarbrough tonight for the Yankees. Garrett, don't call me Davy Crockett because my name is Crochet, goes for Boston. Minus 150 for the Sox, plus 125 for the Yanks, and an 8.5.
I'll run line Boston with Davy Crockett going. He kicked their ass once already, and I'll get $1.44 on the plus side if it hits.
The Reds will be in Detroit against the Tigers. Nick Martinez goes for Cincinnati. Brant Herter is the opener for the Tigers. He's one of their bullpen guys. I guess Montero will come in after him. Minus 130 for Detroit, plus $1.10 for Cincinnati, and a 7.5.
I just think that the Tigers have the best record in baseball, and they don't lose. Give me Detroit.
That is very true. They do have the best record in baseball right now. The Mets at Citi Field against the Rays. Rays get out of Tampa for a couple of days. Taj Bradley goes for them. Clay Holmes for the Mets, who are minus 175, plus $1.45 for the Rays at an 8.5.
I like the Mets. They never lose at Citi Field. I'll run line them at plus 123 with Holmes.
Rockies head east to Atlanta. German Marquez going for them. Bryce Elder for the Braves. Oh, geez, look at this lumber. Minus 335 for Atlanta. Been watching them lately? Plus 265 for Colorado and an 8.5.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with this game. If I had to do it, I would run line the Braves. I think Marquez is awful. I like the over more than anything else, over 8.5. I think the Braves will light up Marquez for 7 or 8 runs themselves, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's Marquez. He stinks. The White Sox will be in Texas against the Rangers. Adrian Hauser going for the White Sox tonight. Now, I know it was originally supposed to be DeGrom, but I think they just moved him back one more day. And instead, the Rangers are going to throw this Sean Armstrong tonight. Minus 180 for Texas, plus $1.50 for Chicago, and an 8.5.
I mean, they scored 32 runs in 3 days in their 2 wins where they put up 16, so their bats are hot right now. I like Texas. Run line it at plus 113.
Twins and the Astros in Houston. Chris Paddock and Colton Gordon. Commissioner Gordon tonight. Twins, the road favorite, minus 115. Minus 105 for the Astros and a 7.5.
I'll take Commissioner Gordon and the Stros at home.
Another bogey for your boy Lawrence. This guy went from 6 under to 2 under in the span of about 5 holes. This guy. So what a fall for thirsty Lawrence here as they head down the stretch, round 2 of the Open. We will come back. I've got a few more games for you on the Friday night slate, and of course we'll get some long balls in there too. Need some Friday night long balls.
Great game tonight at Dodger Stadium as well.
Yes.
Their team total is 19.5 wins. I told you to go under, and it's by far the best bet I have recommended on this network in 4 years. They can't get out of their own way. And now Sloot is out for the year. Let's hope Sloot gets back, because I respect the hell out of Sloot, and I want her to go out on her own terms. Hopefully we'll have her back for the 26th season.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I got a feeling Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. I got a feeling there is no chance they're going to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kidding.
They're still not expected to have over 8.5 wins. They're still not expected to have a winning record. Now, I know things could change for the next 24 hours. I get that. But everyone expected Aaron Rodgers to sign with him. He's going to sign with him.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
And around the stretch they come as we turn the corner here on a pain-free Friday. We're still doing baseball games for tonight around the show.
We are. The A's will be in Kansas City against the Royals. Luis Severino tonight. Michael Waka 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 going for KC, who's minus 160, plus 135 for the A's, and an 8.5.
Well, now that the Yankees have moved out of town after kicking the Royals' ass again, I don't think they've lost to them in 2 seasons. They'll finally get back to winning. I mean, Bobby Witt said it best. They kick our ass every time we play them, and now they'll kick the A's ass. I'll run line the Royals.
Cardinals and Brewers again in Milwaukee. Second game of 4. Eric Fetty and Freddie Peralta this evening. Minus 165 for the Brew Crew, plus 140 for the Redbirds, and a 7.5.
I like Peralta when he pitches for the Brewers. I think he's their best pitcher. So give me the Brew Crew.
Padres and the Diamondbacks out in the deserts. The Padres will send Stephen Kolek up tonight. Ryan Nelson for the Snakes, minus 135 Arizona, plus $1.15 Friars, 9.5.
I like the Friars. I think Kolek's been really good. 3 ERA. I like him on the road. I think the D-backs are a 500 team. I think the Padres are flat out better.
Also late night in Seattle, Cleveland and the Mariners. Gavin Williams against Louis Castillo, minus 115 for the M's, who have been horrible lately. Horrible. Minus 105 for Cleveland and a 7.5.
Horrible. I think tonight they'll win finally and get back to 500. Louis will get it done at the T-Mobile in Seattle.
And finally, of course, as you mentioned before the break, game of the night in Los Angeles at Chavez Ravine. Giants and the Dodgers getting together. The Giants only 1 game back of the Dodgers for first place in the NL West, and a great pitching matchup too. Logan Webb against Yamamoto tonight. Minus 185 for the Dodgers, plus $1.55 for the Giants, and a 7.5.
What are they, a game back? Give me the Giants at plus $1.60 at Dodger Stadium. Logan spinning a web over Yamamoto. I saw Yamamoto have some rough starts, and I've seen Webb. What did he have? An 8-inning, no runs. His last time out, the guy was unbelievable. I'll take the Giants in game 1 here.
Giants in game number 1. All right, there you go. Great night of baseball that we do have ahead of us. Okay, how about some long balls for a Friday night? Friday's been our best night. Hopefully we can keep that going for us heading into the weekend. We've got the White Sox coming into Texas. Now, you said it before. Texas has scored. They had a couple 16s they threw up in the 2 games in Minnesota. It seems like they're starting to hit the ball. And you have the White Sox coming in with this Hauser. Little burger time tonight at plus 420. He's been hot. He's had some homers this week. We're going to go a little bacon burger. Next, Marlins and the Nats. The Wood Doctor tonight against Cabrera. Plus 450 for the Wood Doctor. Who's been hotter than this Joe Adele for the Angels? I mean, this guy's been cleaning it up. And we've got gopher ball Charlie Morton on the mound tonight in Baltimore. 5 bills for Adele. Next, Jackson Merrill. Great numbers for Jackson Merrill here in his career, I should say, against Nelson. Plus 560 for Nelson. That was this morning. I know it's dropped a little. I still like Merrill. Mookie Betts. Now, yes, Logan Webb is excellent, Scotty. But Mookie Betts, 15 for 36. That's 417 and 2 homers off of Logan Webb in his career. So you might get a giant win, but maybe we could throw a Betts solo shot in there at some point this evening against Logan Webb to help things out. And also from the great history category, Ozzie Albies. I know for the Braves we usually play Ozuna and Riley and Olsen and all these guys. Albies is excellent against Marquez. He's hitting like 500 off him with 2 home runs in his career, and we're getting a nice fat plus 600 price. So we'll go with Albies. Burger Time, Wood Doctor, Adele, Merrill, Betts, and Albies. Taters for a Friday night.
That is a fantastic tater lineup for a Friday night. I can see the money pouring in already. The bell's ringing. There might even be a crack in the bell, like the Liberty Bell.
I hope so. I hope that we can get that crack in the bell. And look at that. J.J. Spuds. Was that a par putt he just missed, Scotty? It's about a 6-footer. And of course, they can never put up until he's done. So he's dropping back to 3 under. And now Mr. Burns
would be
with
in
a
the
shit.
lead. There it is.
Yep. And Spawn's got, 3 holes to go. See if he could finish the job here and get themselves
I
in
see
the mix.
DeChambeau's about to miss the cut, too.
He has been horrible today. DeChambeau, Rory, horrible. I mean, where is he right now? You probably just saw his score. What is he before he hits this shot? So he's right on the number right now. Stewie was saying
he's got 5 holes to go.
That's his problem, is that he's got 5 holes to go, and Stewie thinks it's going to be +7. He thinks that that's going to be the cut. I have that bet for +6 at +750. So I'm hoping the cut ends at +6. And he's in the sand here, DeChambeau, off of that
let's
second.
just root for the 750. I don't care about anything else. What are we going to get out of +7? Nothing.
We just a bunch of golfers who don't deserve to be there this weekend.
That's right.
If it gets to +7. So let's try to keep it
cut
right
it
here,
off at
6.
As we
cut it off at 6. Give me that big ticket for that one. All right, there you go with the home runs for tonight. Okay, I got a lot of football for you today. Let's get it started, and then we'll do some more after the break. Of course, everybody had mandatory mini camps this week. Mike Tomlin had a lot to discuss, including T.J. Watt. Or let's just say he's not going to discuss much with T.J. Watt. He also wants you to let you know that he prefers his guys sweating at practice. Here's Mike Tomlin.
I'm not going to get into speculation there. You guys know what negotiations is about. I'm optimistic we're going to get things done because we got 2 sides that want to get things done. When that's going to occur, I do not know.
You've been in communication with him this week?
There certainly has been communication with him and communication between he and I, but I have no intentions of sharing any component of it with you guys.
After 1 year, you're going back to the afternoon practice in Latrobe. What made you shift away from that?
Wasn't hot enough last year. To be quite honest with you, heat aids in the development of physical conditioning. It makes it a more stressful environment, and that's what we go to camp for. We go to camp to get better, and if it's a little bit more miserable later in the day, man, that's what we want.
I like how they all laughed. Like when he said it wasn't hot enough, all the writers there, they all started laughing, and he's just like, "No, you don't. I'm dead serious. It wasn't hot enough." He's like, "I want a crispy out here." Like they thought it was funny. Yeah. It wasn't funny. He wants it hot.
I have been there to St. Vincent's at Latrobe, and I have been at training camp and stayed at training camp in the dorms. And when I covered the Steelers, there was no air conditioning, and I mean to tell you, it was Vietnam.
Latrobe is hot in the summer. I've only been there once in the summer for something else, part of it. and it is hot. DeChambeau is going to be even worse. That was his 4th shot he hit out of the sand on that hole, and he ain't that. So this bogey putt's going to be from a mile away. He's going to double this hole at minimum that he's hanging around on right here. This DeChambeau. Rory DeChambeau, last year.
Wait till you see what happens Saturday and Sunday when they move these pins even harder. It's going to be brutal. We're going to get everybody down to even par.
How could it be harder than today? I mean, today
because it's Saturday at the Open, and then Sunday should be absolutely brutal.
It'd be great fun watching this golf, watching these guys in complete misery.
I love it.
2 days.
I really do. I love it. I watch every stroke.
13 total, 19.5 wins. I told you to go under, and it's by far the best bet I have recommended on this network in 4 years. They can't get out of their own way. And now Sloot is out for the year. Let's hope Sloot gets back because I respect the hell out of Sloot, and I want her to go out on her own terms. Hopefully we'll have her back for the 26th season.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
I got a feeling
Finally.
Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. I got a feeling there is no chance they're going to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kidding.
They're still not expected to have over 8.5 wins. They're still not expected to have a winning record. Now, I know things could change for the next 24 hours. I get that. But everyone expected Aaron Rodgers to sign with him. He's going to sign with him.
Ferrall coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside.
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I still like the story of the Irsay daughters fighting for power. Who's going to be the top dog there? But they're going to honor their late father at what game?
That would be the home opener, their first game of the season. They will put Jim Irsay in the Colts Ring of Honor there. Like we mentioned,
been better for the Patriots to do the same thing with Tom Brady than a preseason game that nobody wants to go to?
I think the reasoning for that is that Brady does the games on Fox now on Sundays. So I guess Brady wouldn't have been able to be there, and I don't blame Fox for not wanting a Patriot game in their top game of the week.
Well, excuse me.
So I'm just guessing, but I would think that's why they're doing it in the preseason.
Gee, I hope he's better than he was last year for his $350 million. He sucked.
But, they do have some Monday night games on the schedule, or they could have probably found another way to do that in a regular game, have him there, and do the whole deal than doing it at a preseason game before the season. But whatever. You know what? He's fine. He's got plenty of juice and accolades and money and everything else. He could deal with getting his statue in the middle of August instead of a regular game. Tom Brady. Speaking of the Colts, of course, Anthony Richardson's been hurt through all of these opportunities at OTAs, minicamp, etc. That means your boy Danny Dimes gets to step in and get a shot. Here he is on taking all these reps with the ones while Richardson's hurt.
I think, just like you would in any situation, I think, just trying to prepare and grow with it every day. I've got, I've got a lot of work to do just learning this offense and getting used to it. So I'm trying to focus as much on that and then playing good football when I'm on the field of practice.
Yeah, I think it's just a lot like his last job where he played for a team with no offense. He's doing it again. He's had to study two terrible offensive schemes, such as the Giants and Colts run right now. I mean, they both stink.
They do both stink.
Honestly, we're not here to be nice. Let's just tell it like it is and move on.
That's sometimes what you need to do. You need to tell it like it is and move on. The Bengals have had lots of distractions, of course, as we know. Now, they're used to that in the preseason. Last year, the distractions was Chase and Higgins, and if they were going to get paid.
I thought it was Joey Silk's blonde tips.
Those were a distraction last year also. But this year, of course, the distractions are on the defensive side of the ball. Here's Joe Burrow.
Now that Jamar and T are paid, do you notice a difference in vibe or anything like that around the locker room and practice?
Definitely less distractions than last year. Those guys are out there working. I know they're, last year they were out there working on their own, not being here. But when you have those two guys that bring energy, guys that make incredible plays, and day in and day out, and they're going to grind just as hard as everybody else, that permeates throughout the team.
You mentioned less distractions with Jamar and T having agreed to deals. Is Trey not being here or his deal not done? Is that a distraction?
Of course. Last year we had 2. This year we have 1, so we do have less. You'd love to have none, but that's life in the NFL. We're all supporting Trey, and we'd love for him to be back.
Joe don't even know that guy's name yet. Joe's not even sure who that guy is, so that's why Joe didn't bring him up. Because that is a problem, because the Bengals look bad, as we mentioned yesterday. They look awful trying to slip the claws in.
I don't want my quarterback at the Met Gala. I really have a problem with that.
With the backless suit, right?
Yeah,
Didn't he have the backless suit or whatever that was?
I can't have it.
The backless suit. Of course, Aaron Glenn is the new head coach of the Jets, and he's instilling a culture. It's going to be his team, his culture.
All business here.
He's all business, this Aaron Glenn, and he appreciates what the last regime gave him, but we're going to turn him into our guys now.
Culture is all about people. So you bring the right people in the building, that determines what kind of culture you're going to have. Now, listen, I give the guys before this regime, before we got here, credit, because we don't have any just bad guys. I think we have a bunch of good guys on this team. So I give those guys a lot of credit for the guys they have here. So now our job is to make sure we steer them in the right direction, the way that we want to play football, the way that we want to operate, the way that we want this building to be. And to me, that's what culture is. And the players know that, and they've seen the different type of guys that we brought in, and they understand exactly what type of culture we're trying to build just by those men coming in the building. And even the people that we hired here as coaches and other departments of this building also. So I'm talking about men and women.
What team in sports now, in college or pro football, just for instance, those two, that doesn't talk about culture? I mean, they use that word more than a throat doctor. Honestly, culture. That's all I ever hear about is culture. How about Culture Club? The bottom line is the Jets suck.
I agree. And watching this guy, not just this week, but since he's gotten the job, I'll tell you one. You know this too, because you know about New York. He better get off to a good start, because his whole the tough guy act and the don't ask me questions act and all that doesn't work if you start 3-7. He better win some games out of the gate, because this stuff he's doing, like they asked him yesterday or 2 days ago, is everybody here? Did everybody report? He goes, did it look like it? Like he doesn't answer. Like he's got a real tough guy act to him, which maybe they need.
He's a tough guy, huh?
That only works if you win in this town. You can't do that if you're bad. So he better win some games out of the gate. The great Aaron Glenn. All right, we've got a couple others. The great Aaron Glenn. We'll see how all that goes for them. That's for sure.
Great at what?
Great at what? We'll come back. We do have leftovers, including we got to end the week, as always, with Rich Sermonello. So we will do that with the college football update to end the week, too, here. Spawn down to 2 under now. Just bogey another hole. Lawrence birdies to get to 3 under. So now Burns and Lawrence are tied for the lead with Spawn
What
at 2.
A weekend at Oakmont is in store.
Their team total is 19.5 wins. I told you to go under, and it's by far the best bet I have recommended on this network in 4 years. They can't get out of their own way. And now Sloot is out for the year. Let's hope Sloot gets back because I respect the hell out of Sloot and I want her to go out on her own terms. Hopefully we'll have her back for the 26th season.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
I got a feeling
Finally.
Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. I got a feeling there is no chance they're going to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kidding.
They're still not expected to have over 8.5 wins. They're still not expected to have a winning record. Now, I know things could change for the next 24 hours. I get that. But everyone expected Aaron Rodgers to sign with him. He's going to sign with him.
Ferrall coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside.
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Let's hook up with my boy Rich Sermonello.
Hey, Scott, we haven't done this in a while, but let's talk realignment in college athletics. I want to go back to the Pac-12. This is a conference that it looked like it was on life support. It was on life support at some point last year. All of the major programs, USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington, they fled to the Big Ten. We were left with Washington State and Oregon State. They were left to hold the fort down. They've done a good job over the past 12 to 18 months. The conference is still alive. So I wanted to give an update as to what has happened in the past and where are we moving forward as it pertains to the Pac-12. So we're down to two teams, as most people know, Oregon State, Washington State. They'll play again 2 times this year, but the conference has gone ahead and poached from the Mountain West. There was a time, Scott, where I thought it would have made sense to simply have a merger between these two conferences, rebrand under the Pac-12, regroup, and see what happens. That didn't occur. They weren't able to come to some kind of an agreement. In fact, those two conferences are still going through some legal wranglings and mediation because the Pac-12 has poached 5 programs: Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, Utah State, and San Diego State. Your son's school will be members of the Pac-12 beginning in 2026. Now, Teresa Gould, the commissioner, did a really nice job of also getting a basketball-only program in Gonzaga, leaving the WCC, going to the Pac-12. So there'll be a very strong basketball presence. I think the Pac-12 is also going to take a look at St. Mary's once things settle down to beef up that basketball presence. But here's where we're at with the Pac-12. We still don't know about a media rights deal. That is in limbo. We haven't gotten an announcement. The mediation that I discussed still has to be figured out. And the biggest thing right now is who is going to be the 8th program in the Pac-12. They currently have 7 in 2026. You need 8 by NCAA standards in order to have an FBS conference, and they're just not that attractive right now. There was a time that it looked like it would be UNLV. The Rebels want to be one of the flagship programs of the Mountain West. They're staying put. There were schools in the AAC like Tulane or Memphis or UTSA out of San Antonio. They are staying in their conference. So the favorite right now, believe it or not, to be that 8th program is Texas State out of San Marcos, Texas, Sun Belt Conference program. small exit fee of just $5 million. So it's going to be interesting this summer to see how things shake out from a media standpoint, but also that 8th program, the favorite right now, Texas State, to be number 8 in the Pac-12 next year.
That's unbelievable. Great stuff, Rich. Always good to see you, my friend. We have leftovers here still on a Pain-Free Friday.
We do. Just a couple of things. Wade Miley of the Reds, I guess he's having a bad day. He's been accused of being the drug supplier of late Angels pitcher Tyler Skaggs. Remember that obvious, I guess, drug dealer, drug supplier. Allegedly, Wade Miley's the one who supplied him with all the drugs. That's not a good scene for Wade.
And they said allegedly the Dark Knight was in on it as well. Remember the former Met?
Yeah. I've heard there's always been some rumblings about the Dark Knight and some extracurricular activities that he's been a part of in the past. But who knows what's true and what isn't. And finally for me, the death of Brett Gardner's son, which was almost 3 months ago now, is at the end of March, still under investigation by Costa Rican police to determine if it should be ruled a homicide. I think we said this when it happened. The fact that the story changed like 6 times over the first 72 hours that it happened, you knew that wasn't the last you were going to hear from it. What sucks is it sucks for, obviously, the family, anybody, Brett Gardner, whoever it would have been, but being Brett Gardner's family. That's got to be brutal that they don't know exactly still what happened with that kid that night in Costa Rica. It's awful.
It's awful.
Awful.
All right, Ferrall, finish. How about the guy that lived on that Indian flight to London that crashed? The one guy that lived with over 240 plus on board and all the people that died at that school where it crashed. The guy got up and walked away from it. Unbelievable. Podcaster Alex Cooper accuses former BU soccer coach Nancy Feldman of alleged sexual harassment. How about the Rover dog walker steals $500,000 in jewelry from her client, then takes $30,000 of it and has it melted. Strong effort by her. Front Office Sports Today is next. Then GTD, In-Game Live, and then Sports Rage. Catch Carver and Lisi. We'll see you Monday. Have a great Father's Day. It's Coast to Coast. Peace.
I'm with you in that you're going to have to take calculated risks. And that's what Leon Rose has been about since he's been here. And he's been measured. He hasn't been gung-ho in terms of mortgaging this franchise's future for immediate gains. They have had a prudent approach, and you're going to have to roll the dice in certain respects to get to that top level. And you're right, Donnie, when you look at next season, all things considered, you hope that they're healthy, and if they roll over, say, 85 to 90% of this roster, this is a top 3 team in the East. With Boston coming down, Milwaukee is going to come down, and so you have to figure it's going to be Indiana, the Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers in some sort of order in the preseason rankings. And so where they go from here, Jason Kidd is obviously the hot name right now. Things that both sides are interested from what we've heard in terms of Kidd and the New York Knicks. Is he that championship caliber coach to take the Knicks there?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Here we go at Oakmont. Let's start with the course. What do we know about this course? How long is the rough, and does course history come into effect for you this week?
The U.S. Open has always been billed as the most difficult test of golf there is on the planet. And I tell you what, it's often labeled as the most difficult golf course in the world is Oakmont.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.